It has always been common for people to want to be on trend or in the now when it comes to fashion, but what does it mean for us when the most talked about fashion trends and the most fashionable girlies that we see seemingly only exist online? I've seen people talk about online fashion versus in real life fashion in other videos, but I think I want to take it a step deeper. And I thought that this term already existed, but whenever I was trying to do some research on it, nothing really popped up for what I was looking for. So here's my made up, now official term for internet only fashion. Internet only fashion is dressing in a way where it is clear the inspiration is from the internet. And it also seems like the intention of wearing this outfit is to take a fashionable or shocking photo. I know this is a very loose definition. I'm not Webster's dictionary. I don't know how to make up definitions, and how almost everything we wear nowadays has some form of connection to the internet. But I do believe that I've been seeing people put together outfits where it's very clear that the intention of the outfit is just to take a picture in it. So we've seen microtrends just absolutely ravaging the fashion world and honestly just like the world in general. But I think microtrends are a small part of a larger idea of how people are getting dressed nowadays. Microtrends also intertwine with this new popular idea of having a timeless wardrobe, which I think is possible, but just not in the way that I've seen a lot of the videos made about making a timeless wardrobe are like presenting it or telling people how to do it. Also, because this video is about internet only fashion, of course I'm going to tell you some of the examples that I think really exemplify this way of dressing. So let's get into it. So where do I get the gall to talk about dressing for the internet versus dressing for yourself? It is because I have done it, as well as many other people, maybe if you didn't even realize. There have been times that I have put on an outfit with the intention of taking a photo and then afterwards taken off a part of it or maybe the whole thing just because it's not conventional for the rest of my day. Like, for example, say I want to wear a certain pair of shoes for a photo, but I know that I'm going to be walking the rest of the day. I will take a picture in the shoes and then take the shoes off to put on shoes that work better for walking. It's not to say that I don't like these outfits and that I wouldn't wear them as I put them together initially, but sometimes you need to change certain elements to exist in real life. It's very bizarre that posting on social media nowadays, it's less about sharing your life and more about sharing a life that you want to have. Our daily lives have been digitized, tracked, and tied up in metrics. Our real selves have split into online avatars and profile pictures and status updates. It's just unsettling to think about picking an outfit based off what you think will impress other people online. I've been trying and succeeding to not do this anymore. Once I deleted TikTok a few months ago, basically got rid of almost all of the urge for me to put on outfits that I would want to post online. Because putting together outfits for YouTube versus TikTok, it's like most of the time with a YouTube video, unless it's specifically about the outfit you're wearing, most people won't even really realize what you're wearing. Because on TikTok, it's so easy to just put on something really fast and be like, oh, this will get me likes on TikTok. Deleting TikTok has also helped me with this because I now know less about what trends are actually happening, so I have less desire to wear them. Mostly what I'm consuming now is like Pinterest, which is a bit like TikTok because it's just like a million outfits in your face, and YouTube. But I think with both of those platforms, what I'm viewing is like a much more narrowed down version of the trends that are happening rather than being able to see literally all of them. I definitely still engage in online trends because it's really fun. Now I just think I'm more selective about the ones that I actually participate in. As I was thinking of this video and writing this video out, my opinion on the idea of dressing for the internet kind of ebbed and flowed as I was progressing throughout it. Because while I have a lot of opinions on dressing for the internet, I do have one controversial take that I think is a little bit different than what I've seen in some other videos. The take is that I don't think it's necessarily bad to put on outfits with the intention of wanting to post them online, because sometimes putting on an outfit with the intention of wanting to look cool is like a fun part of style. Because if everyone was dressing for practicality, there wouldn't be much variation in what people wear. Where I think this becomes an issue is the idea that comes along with dressing for the internet, which is having a perfectly curated persona for your online presence, which is perpetuated by everyone online, and then also everyone else online feels the effects of it. Let's do a little example because I'm sort of confusing myself as I'm saying it. Okay, so girl A has a very trendy outfit with 100k likes. Girl B thinks the outfit is cute, so she buys the shirt from the outfit. Girl B is anticipating this shirt, she's so excited, she puts it on and posts a TikTok in it, and then, oh no, she got 30 likes on her TikTok, something is clearly wrong. Now girl A is back in this equation, and she makes a post saying that she thinks that shirt is so fucking chuggy, now she cannot believe that she wore it a month ago. Girl B sees the post and she thinks that now she looks chuggy and she never wears the shirt ever again. Especially since girl B saw that she didn't even get the likes that she wanted on the post. The end. I think there's two key problems with this scenario. The first key issue is how we will see people often buying clothes and a lot of clothes in the hopes that it'll give them this gratification of posting them online and then getting likes shares, love, online popularity, everything like that. While on the internet, yeah, that's how the way you gain followers is by posting things online to gain a following. However, in a lot of ways, it's luck, especially on TikTok. And the luck is the tricky part when it comes to these fashion haul type videos. Because when it comes to fashion, overconsumption kind of goes hand in hand with having a lot of content that you can make is strictly whenever you are making styling videos. Because it makes sense. If you do one Amazon must-haves everything hauls, whatever those things are called, those are literally the bane of the internet, sorry. When you post your Amazon try-on haul, it gives you a chance to be seen by other people and for them to like your content. And using that logic, if you post 10 Amazon try-on hauls, you have even more of an opportunity to be seen by people who will like your content. A less harmful type of these videos is when people do major thrift hauls, like multiple times in a month. And yes, it's going to a thrift store, so it's definitely better for the environment. But again, it still perpetuates this idea that, like, if you want to be making original content with fashion, you have to be buying more clothes. And I think the absolute worst part about this idea of luck when it comes to TikTok or posting on any social media is that you can buy, film, post 10 Amazon must-have try-on hauls and it'll still get you nowhere. The only thing that comes to that is now you bought 300 pieces of clothing that you don't even literally have time to wear. Like, it's impossible to wear all these clothes just for you to want to do it again. It's like Gambler's Mind, where it's like, this next one will hit. Like, yeah, this next one will hit. If I buy one more Amazon basic tank top, like, that'll be the one that everyone really thinks they need and they want to share. Sorry, that was a bit mean of me. That was aggressive. I don't take it back, but I'm sorry that I said that way. Now that I did my overconsumption rant, which I'm gonna say is a small part of this video, the rest of it doesn't have to do with overconsumption because there's enough videos about overconsumption on the internet. You can obviously find one. The other concerning part of this idea, which I think has more to do with dressing for the internet, is the cycle of highs and lows when it comes to posting online. The feeling of absolute awesomeness when you post a really good outfit and you get so many people loving what the fuck you're wearing, and then the opposite end of that spectrum where you post an outfit that you really like and then absolutely no one has shit to say about it. This flip-flop feeling actually has an effect on people's mental health. A 2011 clinical report on the impact of social media on children, adolescents, and families was one of the first to raise the issue of Facebook depression among young people that are worried they weren't accumulating enough friends or likes in response to their status updates. Basically, the article was talking about how when kids or young adults don't have enough like online friends, persona, likes, followers, it legitimately makes them sad. Which, like, yeah, that makes sense. Being someone who posts online, I can totally attest to this feeling. But talking about this, I think it's important to be able to recognize this in your life and to know when to put the phone down. What's that Tyler, the Creator tweet where he's like, cyberbullying, like, how are you getting cyberbullied? Like, close your eyes. I love that tweet so much. Anyways, because if we compare the idea of getting dressed for the internet versus getting dressed for real life, it's pretty distinct how it makes you feel. So say you get dressed and you go out to a bar or somewhere and someone tells you that they really like your outfit. It feels great, gives you a little pep in your step, and then you keep going with your day. If you post an outfit online and people really like it, you then get consumed by scrolling through the comments and just eating it up, getting the endorphins over and over and over again, which is not good, especially when you compare it to its counterpart. In real life, if you go outside and no one compliments your outfit, do you even notice? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't think I've ever put on an outfit and went out and been like, damn, no one complimented me. Like, that's weird. Maybe, like, the closest equivalent to that would be, like, going to a bar and being like, why are no men talking to me? But I don't even think that's really comparable. However, if you post an outfit online and it gets no engagement, no comments, no likes, it makes you feel bad. So something that in real life has virtually no effect on your life now is making it a negative part. Now, with all of this in mind, we can start to see where I think this idea of internet-only fashion comes from. Internet-only fashion is usually unconventional and a bit strange. Not in a bad way sometimes, like strange can be good, but usually a bit strange. And I think the worst offenders of this internet-only fashion idea is when people dress specifically for like rage bait, which I can't believe is a real sentence coming out of my mouth, but I've definitely seen outfits online where I'm like, you put that on so that people would be mad at you in the comments. And the worst part about rage bait is that half of the people don't get it. They don't get that it's a joke, or they don't get that you're doing it intentionally. They're just like getting all up in their feelings about it. Within fashion, there has always been and will always be controversial clothing. clothing. In the past, when people would dress controversially or a little out of the box, typically there was a artistic vision in mind and intention behind it. But on the internet, it's more just to stir up attention. And before I get into and give examples of what I think is internet-only fashion, I want to be a little bit delicate about how I present this. Because one, I know that some people actually wear these clothes. I live in a major city. I have seen many an internet-only fashion choices out in the wild. I probably have done some of them myself. The second thing is I don't want to come online and just start shitting on a bunch of fashion choices and kind of like bullying it, because I would be a major hypocrite to do that. So with going through these outfit examples, I just kind of want to like explain why I think that they are purely made and exist for the internet. So the first internet-only fashion example that I had in mind was people wearing athletic clothing with fancy clothing. Fancy is very loose and so is athletic, so I'll give you a few examples. So one of the ones that I feel like I have seen a ton online, but I have never once seen a person in my real life wearing, is wearing basketball shorts with heels or ballet flats. So what I think really makes this an internet-only outfit is the fact that in real life, you would never put these two things on together. I don't think there's a world where someone puts on high heels and basketball shorts as a functional outfit that they are going to be wearing in the world. You're never wearing basketball shorts and heels unless you are taking the garbage outside and the only shoes you have in front of you are heels. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, those old vines where people would make would be like, when you have to take the trash out and you only have these shoes. They created the trend. Vine is still relevant in 2025. Long live the king. But like, if you think about it, if I were to see someone in public wearing basketball shorts, I would think, oh, they're doing something athletic or they're going to play basketball. And then if I looked down and I saw that they were wearing heels, I'd be like, where's your basketball game at? Why are you wearing that? I think this fashion choice is supposed to give a, like, girl off guard, like, messy hair don't care look, you know? And this is where I might be a little mean, but it just feels really phony. Not phony, I don't know if that's the right word, but I do think it's very clear when you see pictures of someone wearing an outfit that doesn't really make sense. And depending on how the photo is taken, first of all, if there's a photo of it at all, then it's like, you clearly want to post it on the internet. And second of all, like, it feels so staged and structured. Usually they're inside. It's like, mama, I know you took that off in about 30 seconds after that. And just a reminder to what I said 5 minutes ago, if you wear these, I don't care. I'm just pointing out that people online see that and either one, think that like, oh, now we're wearing basketball shorts with heels? Like, I don't know about that, and then feel pressured to wear that, or they're interacting with like rage bait intention in mind. But if you wear that and you think it's cute, like, I don't care. I'm not the fashion police, and I have never claimed to be the fashion police. But I think my point still stands where it's like, you can tell that the internet was in mind when creating and putting on that outfit. Another one that I've seen, which I haven't seen in a while, which also kind of furthers the internet-only fashion point considering the trend cycles are going so fast online now, is people wearing underwear with tights and like nothing else. Like underwear, tights, shoes. And then not even like a long sweater to cover it up. Like the point is to see the underwear. I think bloomers can sometimes fit into this, kind of depending on like how the bloomer looks. I do like the bloomer look, but with the rest of what I'm going to say, like, you can kind of decide if you think bloomers fit into this. Because if you see someone online who has tights on and just underwear, I feel almost certain that that person is not going outside. And if they are going outside, it's like they are getting immediately into an Uber and then immediately getting out of the Uber to some like cool fancy place. Because granted, some people have worn this outfit, but I would bet that most people, women, literally anyone, would feel uncomfortable wearing something so, I'll call it scandalous. So scandalous. Because like most women barely feel comfortable wearing super low-rise shirts because it has this inherent risk of you will be harassed, you will be things much worse to you. Like, I don't believe that clothes should have some stigma around them, but sadly in this society they do. Because if you were to wear that outfit and say you're going on public transportation or you're just walking around, I think, if anything, people will at least stare at you, and that can make a lot of people very uncomfortable. So I don't think this fashion would really have ever come together without the idea of the internet and posting a photo online, because that's where I think most people would feel comfortable wearing this outfit. I also feel like wearing underwear and tights, you kind of have to be posed also when you're wearing it. Like, in my head, I'm just thinking about seeing someone wearing underwear and tights, and it could be a cute outfit. Like, I've seen people wear this, and I'm like, that's cute. But then I just imagine them at the grocery store, and just, like, standing there with, like, some bananas and eggs, and, like, I'm not gonna say you look silly, because, like, period. Like, good for you for wearing that. I can't really fathom seeing this outfit in the world. Another internet only tendency that I think, this one's more general, but people having like props for their outfits. They have a big ass bag with a ton of charms and there's just things spilling out of it. And then all in the same photo, somehow they're holding a book. I think it's more common for people just to have stuff in their hands as like a prop for a photo, which like I don't really think is bad. Like if you have it, you have it. Like you're just accessorizing basically. But it's like, would you carry that book around if you weren't gonna take a photo with it? Sometimes yes. Sometimes no. Again, I just think it comes back to being very unconventional in real life, especially with all these pictures. I have never seen a backpack. Speaking of backpacks, let's bring back backpacks real quick because it's hard to find a really cute backpack, and this idea of like kind of having props with your photo, it feels more attainable to do than some of these other like internet only fashion trends looks, but I think it just kind of creates a problem that didn't exist of being like, I wish that I had 100 different pairs of sunglasses so that I could wear them with my 100 different outfits. The next one is layering, but in like an extreme sense, because I love a good layer. Everyone loves a good layer. You can make outfits so cute with layering your clothes. And I'm not saying that layering is an internet only thing because that is not true, but I think there's certain types of layering that are internet only. One that I've seen is layering pants with a skirt. I don't think that this is wholly internet only dressing, because if you've ever met someone who went to an all-girls private school where they had to wear a uniform, literally all of them were layering their skirts with their pants. And also just forever in time, people that have dressed super modestly have worn skirts with pants. But one that I think is super internet only is when you layer 2 pair of pants over top of each other. Have I seen someone do this successfully? Like probably, but in my head I can only ever think of like bad examples. Like wearing double jeans. Like, are you scared someone is going to take your first pair of jeans? I promise no one is going to take them. Again, it's just unconventional to actually be wearing 2 pairs of pants over top of each other. I have seen this on like fast fashion maybe, or I don't know where I would have seen it in person, but I saw a pair of pants in person where it was a pair of jeans and then it wasn't like a second pair within, it was just the top of the other pair of jeans like sewed on to the jean. So basically it was like faking that you'd be wearing 2 pairs of pants, which I think is even funnier that not even to wear 2 pairs of pants, but to be like, no, I'm gonna just like pretend I'm wearing 2 pairs of pants. If you're wearing 2 pairs of pants, more power to you, because good luck with like how hot you're gonna be with both those pairs of pants on. This next one is less of an actual fashion example, but more of a dressing for the internet as a whole thing that people do. So with online fashion, I think where a lot of people get a little bit insecure and confused about trends that are happening and what they want to be wearing. There's also this well-known secret when it comes to like fashion influencers that they will just in a single day go to multiple different locations with multiple different outfits and then just change them and take a bunch of pictures throughout the whole day, so that throughout the next week or month they can post like they are dressing very fashionably every day. Shooting a bunch of content at one time I don't think is bad, and I don't think that posting stuff over time to give the illusion that you're wearing cute outfits every day is like necessarily bad either, just because sadly I think a lot of people that are viewers online are not really gonna pick up on the fact that you are not actually dressing like this every day, and it does make them feel very insecure that they can't dress like that every day. I think doing that is just more of a negative side effect of being a fashion influencer, especially if it's your job. Like you literally can't help it, like you have to post like you're dressing cool every day, and if you are a fashion influencer, that literally is your job to wear cool clothes, so you probably are dressing like that every day. This last example just sort of sums up everything as a whole, and you know I'm going to talk about it, the microtrend final boss. The microtrend final boss is like a meme now, but it's basically just someone who dresses literally like they have an internet addiction, which is kind of the whole point of this video. We see the microtrend final boss sitting perfectly on the steps of a cafe in Paris, looking slightly disheveled, as to look relatable, but not too disheveled, so she looks presentable. Wearing a great outfit that is trying hard, but not too hard as to appear like they are trying hard. Perfectly captured and posted on their gorgeous Instagram that has 100,000 followers. Yes, I am jealous of them, okay? I am jealous of them. I want my job to be wearing clothes for a living. Like, that would be awesome. And they really do have this cool girl presenting vibe that I wish I had. Sadly, I am a simple girl. I mean, I do think I am cool. Do I give off this aura of, like, mysterious girl? I don't think so. I think I share too much about myself in general. The bad part of the microtrend final boss, which myself and a lot of people forget, is that one, this is their job. They are professional clothing wearers, or they don't have a job. and just have a lot of money. And yes, there are some people that dress really cool every day and they do have a job and they are awesome, but I don't think they fall into the microtrend final boss category then. I think that they're just cool people. Where this hurts all of us as internet users is that it's just not realistic, and it gives people an unrealistic expectation as to what their lives should be like. Now, because I've been a very negative Nelly, I am going to speak in defense of the microtrend final boss and kind of like internet only dressing in general. I think it's amazing to be testing out new style combinations and dressing as you feel most genuine to yourself 100% of the time. I wish that I had the capability to do that. And obviously, for trends to happen, people have to make them happen. It's a part of the internet ecosystem and fashion ecosystem in general. Like, people have to be trying new things, maybe getting clowned on for being like they're chronically online, but that just keeps pushing the cycle forward. And I think I would rather live in a world where we had some microtrend final bosses rather than living in a world where everyone just kind of dresses the same. We're gonna move past trends now because I want to talk about the second part of this video that involves online dressing, and that is talking about the idea of this timeless wardrobe. I've seen a lot of videos about people building their timeless wardrobe. I think there's two main issues with this. First, the material that a lot of our clothing is made out of these days is absolute garbage. That is going to disintegrate in the next 2 years, especially at the rate we're going. Our clothes are basically going to be like one wear and then they're going to fall apart at the seams. The second, when we talk about a timeless wardrobe, I think a lot of people forget that timeless means like not necessarily like a year from now. Timeless would be like 10 years from now. Because as most young people do in their mind, they're just thinking about how the fact that they're going to be in their 20s forever when you aren't. If you're thinking about making a timeless wardrobe and what you have in mind is what you're going to be wearing in 3 years from now and not wanting to cringe at yourself in 3 years, I think you have it wrong. I think you need to look further ahead. I think you need to think about yourself in 10 years from now. In 10 years from now, I will be 33 years old, which is freaky because 10 years ago I was 13 years old, and honestly it feels like felt so fast since I was 13. Most people's styles will shift over the next 10 years, probably pretty drastically. The best of us, our styles will stay pretty similar to what they are now, but I think a lot of people who have timeless wardrobes aren't fashion girlies. I'm sorry to say that because I'm a fashion girly, I would say. Most people with timeless wardrobes are in very specific like subgenres. People that are goth, obviously goth changes over time, but if you are a goth person, I feel like you could buy something now and you could wear it literally in 50 years from now, especially if you're still goth, and it would work. Versus I think fashion girlies buying something now, in 3 years from now, they're gonna hate because they don't necessarily have something that ties them to the style of clothes that they're wearing other than that they are fashionable. Which, like, me too, so I'm not even trying to be a bitch about it, but I think when we have the intention of creating a timeless wardrobe, focusing too much on what we will like in the future is really limiting the creative freedom you have now. Really quick, I want to focus on a lot of the videos I've been seeing about a timeless wardrobe. God, I've said that fucking word, 2 words, so many times. I don't want that to come out of my mouth ever again, but it has to. These timeless wardrobe videos that I've been seeing recently, I think are its own little aesthetic. This look has been rightly criticized because it has this front that it's like everyone can buy these clothes and they will match for everyone and the rest of their lives. But a lot of the clothes that a lot of people recommend with buying these timeless wardrobes is just kind of this old money corporate looking aesthetic. And why is this? The old money corporate look hasn't really changed. It really is timeless if that's what you want to wear. If you look at old rich people from the 60s to now, look pretty much the same. The old money aesthetic looks pretty much the same. Because the timeless look really just kind of is adhering to professional standards. Because what can a both 20-year-old wear and a 60-year-old wear? They can both wear a fucking blazer and a button-up. Dressing modestly is always going to seem timeless due to the fact that as people get older, as we get older, society starts to tell old people that they should stop showing off their body and they need to cover up, and they look unprofessional and they look too young when they wear young people clothes, which in turn makes older people not want to show off their bodies or be revealing. So since it's less common for older people to be wearing revealing clothes, if you want to dress timeless and be able to wear the same clothes as you will when you're 50 years old, you'll probably want to buy modest pieces. So yes, wearing trousers and a blazer is timeless, but I don't think it's necessarily a hack, like the be-all end-all of how to always be fashionable. I think it's just more of a style that you can choose to wear that probably will last longer. So now that I've talked my shit about timeless wardrobes, I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, how to build a closet I think that can grow as you grow, and you'll still be able to wear stuff as the trends cycle through over and over again. My first one is glasses. I always see people debating like big glasses are timeless, little glasses are timeless, blah 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 blah. I think they both are, because glasses you can just kind of keep for as long as you want. They're not really going to suffer the effects of aging as some other things will, because they're made of like metal and plastic and whatnot. You can get such a big array of these glasses. Like you can have your collection of big glasses for 1 year and then have your collection of little glasses for the next year, and then sunglasses the same. I just think all glasses are timeless. There's not much more that they can really change in the future. Obviously some more styles, but retro glasses always come back in. It's just a given. Another thing that I think you can keep for a long time, especially if it has an elastic waistband, is skirts. So obviously as we get older, our bodies change, but skirts are kind of a safe bet with a changing body. My god, I sound like I'm talking about like going through puberty. But like, yeah, sort of. As I was doing research for this video, I was just kind of looking at older fashion styles, and something that always came up over and over again was a plaid skirt. Granted, that might not really be your style. I really like plaid. I think plaid is fun. But say plaid is something that you have found yourself wearing from different year to year. If you have an elastic waistband on the skirt, I guarantee that you will get use out of it again in the future. It's just a pattern that will simply never go away. I think also with skirts, you can get a variety of skirts. You can get some long skirts that you will probably always wear. You can get some short skirts that you will probably wear for a long time. Maybe you won't wear them forever, just because I know mini skirts, people already sometimes feel insecure in them, so I can imagine that as your body changes and time goes on, you might feel fluctuating on how you feel about mini skirts. But definitely long skirts, midi skirts, mid-thigh skirts, they will always find a place in your wardrobe, and you can have such a collection of colors. Colors flow through the fashion cycles as well. The next one is shoes. Most people, their shoe size doesn't really change as they get older. I mean, a little bit, but not to the point where I think you necessarily need to get rid of shoes that frequently. So I think starting a collection of shoes is a good way to always have a nice flair to your outfit. I think shoes are an underrated part of the outfit. I know I definitely neglect the power of a good shoe because there's just so many. You can have heels, loafers, cowboy boots, different textured boots, different textured sneakers, high sneakers, low sneakers, literally infinite type of shoes that you could have. Obviously they're kind of hard to store, they just take up a lot of space, but finding good shoes with good material, so worth it. My next one is jackets. I'm a jacket lover. I think jackets are a great way to spice up any outfit. This can range from like small little jackets to big jackets. Well, these are also a bit unconventional to store for a long time. I think that jackets also cycle through fashion trends in a way where it's like you can keep stuff and then you will be glad you have it in a few years from now. Some good ones that are worth finding with good material are fur jackets or fur lined jackets. I think fur lined would probably be a better bet to go with for them to stay kind of relevant. Also, while I was looking at fashion stuff online, I saw so many different variations of fur jackets on the runway and just in street style. Like fur jackets were literally everywhere. I think a leather jacket is also one that you can keep for a long time that will definitely come back around again if it goes out ever. I think leather jackets are awesome in like blazers, cardigans. Like it's more of a sweater, but those type of jackets as well, I think worth keeping. I know a lot of people, when they talk about the timeless wardrobe, building it, they usually say like, get a white t-shirt. Thanks. Didn't think about that. Actually, never thought about wearing a white t-shirt. And yes, as time goes on, we will always be wearing white t-shirts and white tank tops and black pants, you know, like they're so basic that they will never really leave. But I feel like curating a timeless wardrobe that's really tailored to yourself, you have to still buy those funky items. Not even funky, but things that are just in your personal style at the moment, and then just keep them. I just think it's so safe. And throughout the years, if you're only ever buying white t-shirts and black pants, you're never gonna have enough to really be creative with your outfits. Like, you shouldn't get rid of your funky stuff just because you don't like it anymore, because you never know, you might like it. Unless it's just totally egregious, like chevron or something like that. To kind of round out my point, I just think we as a whole are just so used to just consuming content, and more content. And it's giving us this idea of overwhelming choices. But the thing is that it's artificial. Warned of an Orwellian world where technology might saturate human beings to the point of multiphrenia. a fragmented version of the self that is pulled in so many directions that the individual would be lost. I am linked, therefore I am. This internet-only fashion has really pulled us in a million directions in terms of what we can do with our style. Just from what the world around us is actually doing. I think it's great to not necessarily stick to one look all the time. I think it's fun to try out new style combinations, new styles in general, and yeah, maybe you put on the outfit to take a picture of it to post on the internet, just because that's where you feel safe posting. But it's just not real, and I think participating in that is just furthering this cycle of no one's really wearing the clothes that we're saying we're wearing until we don't know what we even actually want to wear. My final message of the day is next time you get dressed, go into it with the idea that you are not going to post this online no matter how good you think it looks. Even if it's so good you need to post it, I say no. Keep that outfit for yourself. Let it be an in real life outfit.